Hi, my name is Amber Osei, and on today's Air Defenders podcast, we have a special guest. Her name is Kara Daniels, and she is the daughter of Colonel Daniels, who is the assistant commandant for the Air Defense Artillery. He's stationed at Fort Sill, and his daughter is also living in Oklahoma. So I just want to welcome her now. Welcome to the show, Kara.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. I know that you're off school today, but you had a track practice this morning, so I guess you're very involved in sports.
Yes, my coach has us practicing on the weekends as well. So,
Wow. Is track the only sport that you do?
no, I also play volleyball. I'm doing club right now.
Okay. And how old are you, Kara?
I just turned 15.
All right, perfect. Well, some of the stuff that we want to talk about today is in honor of the month of the military child.
Mhm.
And so we're going to ask you some questions that pertain to that. And I guess my first one is just a general, what has it been like for you to grow up as a military child?
Well, it's been definitely interesting. But it's nice to have the opportunity to travel and see a lot of like new places that others don't necessarily get to see.
Where all have you been to already?
I've lived in 8 states with El Paso, Texas, Alabama, Kansas, and then again more central Texas, Colorado, Germany, Pennsylvania, and then here in Oklahoma.
Wow. Okay. So what was your favorite out of all those?
Probably Germany. It was really pretty to travel different places in Europe, and I think I met better people there. Like my best friends are like I met them there.
So how is it like now not being able to be there?
It's okay, I've adapted to it since it's kind of like been like that my entire life, but I'm still in contact with those people and I talk to them basically every day. So it's been all right.
So whenever you're moving around and you move from one school to the next school and all that, how do you engage with your peers and start to make new friends?
Well, it's definitely different because I understand that we've had different experiences, like especially here in Oklahoma, a lot of people have lived in this one town their entire life, and so they have best friends that they've known since kindergarten, and I guess I'm just unfamiliar with that, and so sometimes it is difficult making new friends because I guess they sort of have different friend groups or cliques, for lack of a better term, but eventually you kind of get to like you get used to them and they get used to you and you end up making friends.
Okay, awesome. Well, you sound like a very intelligent young lady, so I'm
Thank you.
sure you don't have any problems making new friends. I see that you're kind of outgoing. So, um, so you're 15. So what grade does that make you in?
I'm in ninth grade right now.
Okay, so you're in high school now.
Yes, ma'am.
How does that feel different than from being in junior high?
Um, it. I guess it's just a little more freedom to like. I guess you can be on your phone a little bit more. Like you're able to freedom at lunch and all that.
Okay, so are you getting ready to start driving?
Uh, I think yeah, I think I can start my driving school soon, but I can't get my permit until I'm 15 and a half, which is going to be more in October. But I've driven before, kind of over in Texas at my grandparents' house. Like they have these large open fields, and so I've driven our car around that area before.
So do you feel like you're ready, or are you a little nervous?
I'm confident in like knowing where buttons are and all that stuff, but honestly going over like higher speeds, like honestly over 40 is a little bit scary for me because I sometimes feel a little bit out of control, but hopefully like with a lot of practice and like just like going to the little the school thing, I'll
Yeah,
be more confident.
I'm sure you'll be great at it. Um, has your dad been helping you out any with that?
He has, yes. My mom too. She's been in the driver's seat. I mean, sorry, the passenger seat. He's been in the passenger seat, kind of telling me like if you like to wait where the blinkers are and which one's the brake, like all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but your dad, he's kind of a high rank in the military. And I
Yes.
mean, that might not mean much because it's your dad, like you just see your dad as being your dad. But
Mhm.
I mean, what does that really mean to you to know that your dad has been so successful with his army career and that he's in the army serving?
Honestly, I'm pretty proud of it. It's kind of nice to be like, oh, my dad's a colonel. Like that's kind of cool for me, I guess. It's cool to go to military things and kind of just like be the colonel's kid.
Okay, so you love it then.
Yeah.
So, what about your brother? Does he feel the same way?
I think so. I don't. He hasn't really said a whole lot about it before, but I think he feels the same way.
Yeah. So, do you think that are you and your brother close?
It depends. You know. But I mean, honestly, yeah, we talk and stuff.
What's the age difference?
He he's 10, turning 11 in October.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that when push comes to shove, y'all are there for each other. You support each other.
Definitely.
That's good. So are you going to school on or off base right now?
Off base. We live off base.
Okay.
I go to Cash High School.
Oh, okay. Cool. So besides the sports, is there any other activities that you're involved in?
I enjoy art, but I'm not really in like an extracurricular thing, if that's what you're asking other than sports.
Uh-huh. Well, what kind of art are you into?
I honestly don't really know. I've been exploring that. I've explored watercolor, but I think I mostly like just drawing with a pencil. I like doing portraits and like looking at something and drawing it, like fruits, for example.
Okay, awesome. Well, I always think that that's very therapeutic if you do any kind of art like that.
Definitely.
So let's see. So since you just I don't know how long y'all been in Oklahoma. Are you planning on staying a while?
So we're guaranteed 2 years, so a guaranteed sophomore year for me, but there's a chance we'll be able to stay until I graduate, which is what I prefer, but we aren't quite sure yet.
Okay. Well, if you get to go somewhere and you were able to pick, what would you pick?
I've heard that question before, and I really don't know, because I mean I've been able to explore a lot of different states, and it's honestly just kind of difficult to choose, I guess.
Yeah. So once you found out about the podcast, was there anything you had in mind that that you definitely had to say it?
I don't really know. My dad asked me if I wanted to do it, and I was like, sure, it sounds like a fun experience. And I didn't really know what to expect, so I guess I wasn't really thinking about certain questions.
Well, if you had to say something to all those other military kids out there that might be, struggling with their moving or their parents being gone, what would you say to them?
Probably that they're definitely not alone, and that there's millions of military kids in all over the world that have had similar experiences, and so even if you feel by yourself, you're not.
Yeah. Do y'all have any like specials, like support groups or anything like that?
Not that I've heard of here. I think so. Whenever I lived in Colorado, there was this man that would come in and like if he wanted to, he could pull the military kids out of class, and he would just kind of talk to you. We would play games, and that was back in elementary school, so I was a lot younger. But that's the only thing I've heard of. I don't know about here.
Okay. So do y'all do any activities that are on post? Do y'all do a lot of things that have to do with the military, or is most of the things that you do off post and it's not really even military related?
I haven't. I don't think I've had the opportunity to go to a whole lot of things on post. I know that my mom definitely has, because she is part of the PWOC, and so she goes to a lot of events there. But I've gone to like that one thing they did back in Christmas with all the houses that everybody decorated, and going through there. But I don't think there was anything that I've been to that had to do with specifically military children.
Okay. Well, what's your besides art, what other subject are you into? Are you more of a math person or an English person?
I enjoy English. I like reading and like kind of breaking down stories. That's fun for me.
Okay, what's your favorite book?
Ooh, that is definitely difficult. I honestly don't know, but there's this book that ironically from moving from school to school, they do a lot of the same things sometimes. So there was this one book called Touching Spirit Bear that I actually had to go over 3 years in a row, which was fun because I knew all the questions already before reading the book. And I think I actually have enjoyed that book quite a lot. So I guess I'd have to go with that.
You're like, I have to go with that because I've already read it like 300 times.
Exactly.
Okay, well, you know, I do commend you. It is hard to be a military child and to move around and have to restart. And I mean, you sound like you're in good spirits and you have a great attitude about it. So, I just appreciate you doing the podcast. And this is basically the time where I just kind of ask you if there's anything else you want to say, and I'll wrap it up.
All right. I don't really think so.
Okay. Well, today we did talk with Kara Daniels, who is the daughter of Colonel Daniels, for today's Air Defenders podcast. And this is in commemoration for Month of the Military Child. So we just wanted to talk with her and go through some things with her. And I think she did a great job today. And Kara,
Thank you.
thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me on.